Fortnite OG Chapter 1 is back and it is insane! One of the best seasons ever, not just gameplay wise but also the storyline this season too. You have no idea how good the storyline this season is, so let me tell you. Also yeah, I got myself some Mosty, I don't know why, let me know in the comments. Do I get rid of it or do I keep it? From us fully learning all the rules around Fortnite time travel, to how this time machine will be used multiple times in this season, taking us into many different seasons of Chapter 1, to how we will completely mess up the Chapter 1 history, releasing the monster too early and way more, to how things from Chapter 4 are getting rifted into Chapter 1, messing things up even more, to Dr. Resona and John Jones being the main story characters of the season, searching for the key to our future. You need to watch this entire video. Let's begin with the time machine, since it is what Dr. Resona and John Jones used to time travel into Chapter 1, being exactly why we are playing Chapter 1 Fortnite again. At this moment, John Jones and Dr. Resona also want to understand the rules of Fortnite time travel, so they keep using the time machine, going into many different times and even back to the Chapter 4 map, figuring out how time travel in Fortnite is like a ripple and butterfly effect. So the Chapter 1 past we are in right now is no alternate timeline or a branch like Loki 1, or it's not like how MCU time travel works, but instead this is fully truly our past. This is the same Chapter 1 we used to play in the past. Now that is extremely scary, because it means now that the Sloan and Jones are back in Chapter 1, if they change any of the events of Fortnite's story in this chapter, it will change their future too. To help you understand, a great example for this is, if you have seen Loki 2, there is something called time sleeping in it. It's when Loki slips in time into past and future, but once Loki goes into the past and changes something, that changes the future too. For example, Loki causes a crack on the ground here. That same crack appears in the future as well, and the people of that place in the future say how this crack has always been there, meaning that the changes Loki makes in the past will change the memories and the people of the future as well. Like again, Loki goes to the past to talk to this guy, and this guy in the future starts remembering the things that Loki is telling him in the past at the same time. Then the guy in the past, because of what Loki says, builds a device. Then that same device gets created in the future as well, right near the guy. That is exactly how time travel in Fortnite works too, which I actually predicted it will be that way since the beginning of last season too. But I did not only predict that, I also predicted something scary, how we're going back to the past and will alter how Chapter 1 works, leading into our future also changing. I got it exactly right. Dr. Resona knows how if they change any events of Chapter 1's story, it will not be good news, since that can also change our future too, all the history we have been through like Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4 in a really bad way. So Dr. Resona warns John Jones to be extremely careful not to mess things up. Instead, Dr. Resona and John Jones are here in Chapter 1 to take something from here into Chapter 4. That something was told to us in Season 3 Chapter 4 to be a key to our future by Optimus Prime. Something in the Chapter 1 map that we need in order to survive before last reality reaches Chapter 4 map. And yes, ever since Chapter 4 started, the last reality has been flying towards the map. That and Optimus saying that the key to us surviving is in the past are exactly why John and Dr. Stone travel back into Chapter 1 to find that key. Whatever this super important key is, we will find out soon. But seems like, as I predicted, things will not go as smoothly as Dr. Stone wanted it to go. We will change moments of Chapter 1's storyline, and that will completely mess up everything, our entire history and the story of Fortnite. For example, I pointed out how the floating island, even though it exploded after Season 6 ended, it seems like when this season we time travel into Season 7, that floating island is still not exploded, which is an insanely massive change into how Chapter 1 played out. And yet another change that happens, there was a monster under Polar Peak that was asleep that awakened in Season 9 Chapter 1. This time in this season, that monster wakes up before Season 9 or even before Season 8 starts. That monster is awakened before even the vault is revealed. So there is no mech, no sword, no nothing prepared to kill the monster anymore. Then there is how at Season X, Dusty was turned into its undestroyed form with Meteor in the sky. But this season, that Meteor is there again, but Dusty is still at its broken form. And the scientist is there yet again building his rocket. One of the reasons why everything, all the moments of Chapter 1 story gets messed up here. It's also because how Dr. Stone and John Jones using the time machine to go back and forth between Chapter 1 and Chapter 4. It messes everything up so bad to the point items and people from Chapter 4 start drifting into Chapter 1 map. Adding into the fact that we're completely changing the Chapter 1 history and time from how it was meant to play. All of this will also change how the story of Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, all of our future, everything is going to change because of how much we're ruining moments of Chapter 1 story. John Jones being a big reason why so much of Chapter 1 changes. Everything is gonna start breaking down on us and it's honestly terrifying. The Fortnite OG story is like a war of future past. In the future or Chapter 4, we are doing our best to keep things alive and stop the last reality from destroying all of us. While Dr. Stone and John Jones in Chapter 1 are trying to find the key to our future so they can save us from the last reality. This is a war against time. So make sure to remember the things I'm gonna say right now when going through this season's story. What is the key to our future which Dr. Stone needs to find in Chapter 1? How close are the last reality to us in Chapter 4? The events of the Chapter 1 storyline will change. What changes do they make to the storyline that happened in Chapter 2, 3 and 4? How are Dr. Stone and John Jones gonna save us from time messing up at the same time as saving us from the last reality? This season's story is gonna be peak and even a Chapter 4 ending live event. And I'm actually right now working on a 2 hours long entire Fortnite storyline video. That entire storyline of Fortnite video will release at the end of this season. So subscribe not to miss that video. For now, click on this video on your screen to find out why the last reality is coming to us right now to kill us all.